Hey guys, how's it going? Morning. It's another blustery day here in this land of sunshine. It's raining real bad outside, so I thought we'd take a little time and do a little project here. We were talking about throw-offs last episode, and I did mention something about making an adapter plate, to keep from drilling holes in the shell. We want to keep these drums original if we can. And Ron, one of our friends here, mentioned he'd like to see that adapter plate. So, if you haven't seen that, continue watching. If you have seen adapter plates made, well, then maybe you don't need to see this. But let's continue here. I've got this Camco snare drum. It's got extra holes, but just for the sake of doing this video, I thought we would use this drum here, and I don't know. You can use this example for just about any throw off. You just take a piece of metal. This is aluminum. I like this. It's nice and thick, and you'll know why for a minute in a minute here. And these are the three original holes, these three. And someone put a different throw off here. We're going to use these additional holes because we're going with a vertical hole pattern. And we'll put this, I'll cut this plate here, and we'll make it work. So I don't know what this throw off is. It sort of looks like a Ludwig piccolo, but I don't think it is. It's some kind of a probably knockoff. But just for the sake of this video and to get this drum up and running, I thought we'd use it. So just something I had laying around. And what I'm going to do right now here is I'm going to get an idea of what you want to see behind the throw off. Really don't want to see too much plate. You want to see as little as possible. So maybe what I'll do is I'll use this top hole here, and I'll go right through this hole here on this plate and drill another hole here, and that's how we'll but of course this plate has to be at least as long as this bottom hole down here. So let me cut this plate, and then we'll get started here. Okay, now I've figured out that we need about 1 7/8 worth of plate here underneath this throw off, because we're going to use this existing hole. So I'll mark that, and I'll take this square, we'll mark that off, and we're going to straighten this thing up too so it doesn't look so hokey here. Alright. Take this camera over here to the vise. I'll show you what I use. So here's my piece we're going to use. And I just use this cutoff wheel. Straighten this side a little bit. Now aluminum's not so easy to cut. It kind of You can cut it with the hacksaw too. That won't hurt anything. So, all right, we've got our base plate made, and now I'm gonna. Well, first I'm gonna let this thing cool off. It's really hot. So I'm gonna put it on the ground. I'll be right back at you. Okay, now stick with me as we progress here. I've got this plate here, and I want to countersink this screw into this plate so it sits flat. As you can see, it's sticking up here. See, it's sticking up. I want to get it. I want to make it to where it's really flat. So let me just put it here in the drill press, and lower this table here. And then we're going to get this all, okay, I'm going to put you guys up here. You can see, I'm just going to countersink this down just a little bit. Let me get this thing in my, get this thing right where I want it. And tighten it up. Test it out. Go down a little bit lower. This can all be done with a regular drill too. It's just that I have the convenience of using a drill press. Right, let's try that. Okay, so I've located all my screws. What you're looking for is this profile of screw. You have to have this V shape here because you want to countersink these and make these heads flat on this metal. So we've got this one here, and it's pretty much flat. So I'm going to put this in this drum here. This plate's going to go on this drum, and I'm just going to check it out, see if it's flat. It's pretty much flat. These screws here are a little bit dome shaped, which I wasn't going to go down and buy new screws. But if you can get ones that are flat like this, that would be the best, rather than dome shaped like these. But it's all I had. Now let me hold that back a little bit. That's all I had, and this is just for the purpose of explaining this process. So now we've got that on there. Let me figure out where I want this other hole to be on here. I'll put that plate on there, and then we're going to find out where we want to put our throw-off. I used to work in cabinet shops when I was a youngin', and there was something called burning an inch, which means you put the inch mark right in the center of that hole. That way you get a really accurate read rather than trying to use this end here and getting a read. No, you burn an inch and you put that 1 inch line right in the center of that hole, and then we go to the center of this other hole that we're going to use here, and it's looking like it's 1 3/16 we're going to go with 1 3/16. So we'll once again burn an inch on here. One 3/16, so it would be 2 3/16. Just a little over 1 3/16, so go a little bit over. And then we want to measure the distance between here, which is about 1 inch, so we're going to go half. Okay, I've got my very small I have my very small anvil here, and I've got specialty center punches. You want to use those so you get your hole drilled right where you want them. Measure that out. Make sure you've got it perfecto, and it looks pretty good. So we're going to go over here, and what we're going to do on this one is we're going to actually thread this one. Okay, let me get started. Okay, so now we're going to take this plate over here to the drill press, put it in our trusty vise, and I'm going to move it over here to where it's centered in the drill press. It's right where we want it. Test it dry first. Looks good. Oops. Got a problem here. Tighten it up enough. Let me see if that works. I think this bit's a little dull. Let me get a better bit. Okay, I think we've got it now. Alright. We've got a hole drilled in that. Now we're going to thread that particular hole. I've got a 832 tap here, and I'm going to tap it out. Let me put this on the much better if you've got a solid surface. Alright. You have to press down a little bit on the to get these threads started. You have to press down. And keep it really straight. All right. Looks good. Okay, we've got that all tapped out. Now what we'll do is we'll mount that on the shell and see how our plate looks. Just going to put this here. Let you guys see what I'm doing here. Just going to put a washer on here and a nut. We'll put the lock washers on when we're doing our final assembly. Right now we're just mocking it up. Let me get this other screw here. Don't forget, this exercise is to keep from avoid making holes in a drum that doesn't have any extra holes. This drum has extra holes, so this is just kind of a lesson in futility, really. Okay, now what we're doing here is I tapped this one. This one's got a screw and a nut on the other side, and you'll see why here in a minute. What I want to do is, this is threaded here. I'm going to take this part out a little ways, and I want the screw to be flush here. So these I need to get these threads tapped. They're not the right ones. I don't know what they are using here, but I'm going to go ahead and tap these out to these 832s. Hopefully there's enough room here. I think we can get it done, yeah. Okay, so you can retap thread sizes even though they've been tapped. You can just cross thread them and get the thread you want. So I'm retapping these to 832. See, so you can only go in that far, and hopefully that's going to be enough. And here's something I'm noticing here. You see how we've got, this is kind of jacked up here. This looks flat here. This is kind of jacked up. Let me close the vise on this thing. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Once again, we're going to bend it into shape. So I'm just going to close the vise on it and get this thing where we really want it. Now that's not too bad. We've got that nice and flat across there. That way it sits flat. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to get back to this. I'm going to bring the screw out all the way to where this is flat here. And then I'm going to get the screw started here. Now these screws are going to have to be cut off, or I'll have to find some screws that are the right length. But now we've got this, as you can see, it's too long in there. You can see the screw right here. It's too long. We're going to cut that off. Don't worry about it. And then I'm going to figure out where we want this next hole. Next thing we want to do is we want to find out what our distance is between these two holes. So I burn an inch and I put that on, and I look at the center to center hole pattern, and it's exactly 13/16. So we're going to go with 13/16, and we're going to mark it on our plate here. Right about there. Right in the center there. Take it over here to the okay. Bring this over here to the drill press again. Do that process. Get you guys set up a little bit. So we want it right about there. Oops. Right about there. Now once again we're going to bring this over here and tap this plate out again. Now let me get this thing in here straight. It helps. All right. Press down real good to get these things, and you got to keep that pressure on. Keep turning. Okay, we're just about there. All right. You can put these taps in the drill press and do that too. If I had a really slow drill press, I could do that, put some oil on it and get it going, but most people aren't going to have that, so I just thought I'd do this by hand because this is pretty much what everyone's may have in their garage. Now what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to countersink the other side of this plate, because this screw has got to be flat because it's going up against the back of the shell. So we want this level. So I'm going to go ahead and countersink that down. So I've got to change the bit. Something like this, I think. All right. I've got to get this here. Yeah, that looks good. Let me fix that. That's not right. I think that might be better there. Let's test that out. Second here. That should be pretty close, but we may need to go a little bit deeper. I can see we do need to go a bit deeper. We might actually need a bigger drill bit here too. Yeah, I don't like that one. Go with this one here. Okay. Always remember, take that chuck key out of that drill or you're going to have trouble. Hits you right in the head. Alright, I think that might work. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this screw in here first. Okay, I've countersunk that screw down here. You can see it's flat across here, so it's not going to affect the wrap. When this goes on here, it's going to, the top screw is going to screw into the top one, and the bottom one here is going to have a screw that goes all the way through. So that's the only bottom screw that's going to go all the way through the shell, and be it, well, okay, so we've got this first mounting screw through there. We don't have it tightened yet. Now we're going to put the other mounting screw on. What we're going to do with this one, we're going to lock washer it, and then we're going to put a flat washer on there, and we're going to pop it through this hole here for the top mounting hole in the throw off. Okay, so we ran out of space on our card, but excuse me. We've got this last screw in here, and we've got the bottom one tightened up. The reason we use this thick plate is so we can countersink them. That's the idea behind using that. And I find that you can use this aluminum, which is nice, but also you can use thick, like PVC, like plastic. Works good too. Or if you want to use steel, that's fine too. But as you can see, the Throwoff fits really good and works really good, and that's what matters. So that's the idea of this adapter plate. And say you didn't have the Throwoff and you wanted to add whatever Throwoff you liked, you could use this in any application. Use whatever Throwoff you want to. Better than drilling holes anyway. Okay, hopefully if you guys like this video, you'll put a thumbs up and subscribe. We need the subscribers. We need the thumbs up. And tell your buddies, and we'll see you next time here on the Vintage Drum Restoration Garage. Take it easy.